USFCougars.com here with University of Sioux Falls head basketball coach Chris Johnson, whose team comes off a road sweep this weekend, defeating Wayne State 64-58, and then defeating Augustana 69-62 at the Sioux Falls Arena. Chris, quickly go over Wayne State victory, which was an important win to start the second half after somewhat of a frustrating first part of the season.
Yeah, you know, when you come off a break and you have a 9-day layoff and you only have basically 3 days to get ready, you're not really sure what to expect. You know, but you want to get off to a good start, and you want to make sure your guys are focused on that Friday night game and not overlooking that at all. It was a hard-fought win. You know, we led most of the game, but we could never really shake them. And so for us to find a way to make plays down the stretch and win a close one was good for this team, because we've struggled in that area. A lot of guys played well. Mac Johnson was really good in that game, had 24 of our 64, and you know, got Daniel Hurt going in the second half a little bit, and really did some nice things. I was really happy with how hard we competed. I thought both teams really did a good job of just guarding each other. I mean, it wasn't a pretty game. I think it was 29-28 or something like that at halftime. It was you know, a one-point game. And our offense didn't really click last weekend, but we found a way to win because we really guarded. And it started on Friday night and carried over into Saturday.
Mac Johnson carried over his play into Saturday, and your point guard, Zach Wessels, also had a solid game against Wayne State and has been really playing well of late. And then he had a career best game, both from rebounds with 9 and points with 21, and among those were 4 free throws at the end of the game to help to ice that game with Augustana, in which you guys came back from a second half deficit, 9 points on a visitor's court, which had to make you as a coach pretty pleased with how your team came out and played the second night in a row.
Yeah, you know, it was a real similar game. Neither team's offense really got going. You know, we held them to 37% shooting, so we gave ourselves a chance, even though our offense wasn't playing great. And then about the 10-minute mark, they spurted out on us by 9 real quick. But by the 6-minute mark, it was tied back up, and I don't think people even really realized that. It was a back and forth tie game basically for the last 6 minutes. And I thought Zach Wessels, you know, maybe the biggest play he made is they hit a 3 to go up 53-50, and Zach came right back down, got an and one at the rim, tied it right back up. You know, I thought they had a little momentum off their 3, and we had just tied it up, and they took the lead right back. And then he had a big tip in, and then obviously the 4 free throws. I was really happy. That's as good as I've seen Zach play, and that's you know, he played awfully well down at Winona too, and he played really solid in the games in between. And so he's really played well. I thought Mac, they did a great job on Mac, and then with about 10 minutes left, Mac really made some plays. And you know, Drew Giebert hits the biggest shot of the game on a night where he didn't maybe play his best offensively, but you know, it takes some guts to step up and take that shot with 40 seconds left in a tie game. And so I thought a lot of people, Daniel Hurt, if it wasn't for him, we might be down 15 at halftime. He had 17 of our 29 at half. And so I felt like we could come off the floor. We won on the road against a rival. We won a close game, and we came back from a second half deficit, and everyone got to feel like they were part of it. And so that was a really, really big win for our team. Now we'll find out what we're all about. You know, one weekend doesn't make a season, that's for sure. It could make a really nice start to something if we're willing to keep, you know, practicing like we did last week, which enabled us to play well both games.
Mac Johnson's starting to play. Drew Giebert's been really good all year, and Daniel Hurt obviously has had his moments. Now Zach Wessels is stepping in, and you're getting contributions from, you know, Kivu Johnson had a big tip in that game, and you're getting solid play from Clint Thomas, who's 4th in the league in 3-point shooting. So as you head into a weekend where you play one of the co-leaders in the overall in the NSIC in Upper Iowa on Friday night, and then you follow it up with a traditional rival, obviously, in Winona State. Talk about those games.
Yep, you know, Upper Iowa's leading the league, and they've earned it. You know, when we went down there last time, they beat Southwest by 2. They beat us by 2. They found a way to win some close games and have played very well. I'm not surprised. That's a good basketball team that has a lot of guys back. one of the tougher groups mentally and physically in our league. We always play crazy games with them. It's kind of how we always have real good games with them, and we always have. So I would expect nothing less on Friday night. And then Saturday, Winona's turned into kind of a rival for us because we've had so many good games with them as well. And, we played one of our better games all year over there, especially offensively. We were really good in our 11-point win over at their place, but they'll be better this time. We kind of caught them at the right time. They had a couple guys sick, and we were coming off of a tough Puerto Rico trip, and we're looking to play better, and I thought we really locked in that night. So, these two games are always good, hard-fought games, and I expect it to be the same. We'll have to play defensively how we did last weekend, and then find a way to be better offensively than we were last weekend.
Fans, you don't want to miss this weekend here at the Stewart Center. There's a couple of special things. A new mascot's being unveiled, and then before the men's game, we're going to unveil the women's championship, and then you're going to get to see two really good basketball games. Women's games start at 6, and the men's at 8 on Friday, and then 4 o'clock on Saturday. USF plays Winona with the women's game, and then the men's game at 6. Chris, thanks for stopping by and talking to us about the team.
Thanks for having me.